I don't know about that. Welcome back, team. Thank you so much for joining me once again on this place of the internet that exists now and I put effort into. Who knew I had it in me, right? So today is International Women's Day. I'm not sure if you knew that, March the 8th, whatever time zone you are in. I don't know if it is currently International Women's Day for you, but it is for me. And I am a woman. That is something that I am as a fact. That's just a fact, and there's not much else to say about it. That's the truth. So the world is fucked up right now, and on International Women's Day I wanted to do a video about women for women because I am a woman, but also I am oversaturated with negative information due to the state of the world. So I thought that today I would do something a little bit more fun, and I'm going to take a Buzzfeed quiz to find out what my feminist aesthetic is. Because we all know that the best way to bring women together is to create different factions of feminism based on what clothing you like to wear and judge each other based on that, right? That's a good idea. So I'm gonna partake in that situation now. Haven't read the quiz yet, have a feeling it's not gonna be very deep and meaningful, but let's go on this journey together. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the first question is, how would you describe yourself? A free spirit, an activist, a caring soul, a philosopher, an empty shell of a person, or a bitter wench? I'm gonna go with an empty shell of a person. I would love to say an activist, but I don't do that much. I donate money, but I don't go out and do that much, partly because I don't really like other people. Okay, next question, choose a book. The Communist Manifesto, no. I Am Malala, The Bell Jar, Segregated Sisterhood, 6 Women of 7, or Female Chauvinist Pigs, Women and the Rise of Raunch Culture. 100% that is me. It's definitely the only one of them that I've read anything of. I know that for a fact, not because I don't want to, but that's just how my life has happened. Okay, how would you respond to a catcaller? Ooh, I feel like if they were skinny and like small, it would be a very different situation compared to if they were like a hulking dude that was carrying a weapon, you know? Also, like, depends where I am. If I'm in my home city, I feel much more confident to say something because I know where the safe areas are. But my options are ignore them and keep walking, give them the finger, punch them in the groin, stop and debate objectification with them, catcall them back, or scream a high-pitched cry of anguish. I think there are a lot of very aggressive actions in there that I don't think are going to win anyone over. I think I would say ignore them and keep walking. The type of person who does that, I feel like, doesn't respect me enough as a woman to hear my opinion when I say, hey, that's a shitty thing to do, and have an argument. I feel like they wouldn't listen to me. Okay, choose a drink. Red wine, gin and tonic, beer, champagne, cocktail, or whiskey. I'm gonna go with a cocktail because I drink vodka and there isn't a specific vodka option there, so I would go for a vodka-based cocktail. Choose a misandrist way of life. I don't really want to. Saying men when you don't mean all men, I've spotted, and I think that's gonna be my answer, but let's read the rest. Say no to romantic advice. That's not what that says. Saying no to romantic advance, I feel like that's not that bad. An all-female remake of any movie, I definitely would do that. Telling a man to finish himself after sex, well, let me tell you, sex doesn't end until the man finishes, so... I mean, in our society, obviously. I don't mean in real life. Sex can end whenever one or both of the parties decide that it's over. But, really. Persecuting men for partaking in black magic. I didn't even know that was a thing that men were persecuted for. Spreading your arms on a train to make room for your boobs. Or saying men when you don't mean all men. I feel like linguistically there is no problem with that. You will see journalists writing headlines that say schools are closing because of a snow day. They don't literally mean every school in the world. They're talking about the schools that they reference further. I think that you can make a statement about men and not mean all men, and people shouldn't complain about that. It's like, I can't linguistically explain why it's okay to do that, but I'm gonna stick with an all-female remake of any movie because I would like to make films. Okay, choose a color palette. Which one looks most bisexual? I think I'm gonna go for this kind of soft, oceany bottom right one, only because it seems slightly calmer. Okay, what motivates me? Powerful women, Twitter trolls, 4 glasses of wine, the bucket of male tears in my freezer, fashion, or dollar. I think I'm gonna go with powerful women, because actually finally seeing so many more powerful women or successful women has made me finally, at 28, believe that it's possible for women to be successful, which I probably didn't believe for most of my childhood. So that sucks. Oh, choose a movie. I saw Hidden Figures last night and it was amazing, so I might have to go with that. Let's see what the other options are. Ghostbusters, also a quality film. Mustang, which I don't think I've even heard of that. The Craft, classic, that's high on the list. Diary of a Teenage Girl, or Whip It. Ooh, this is tough. I think I'm gonna have to go with The Craft, only because it was like, that was kind of my childhood or like early teens, and I do like the other films there that I've seen, but The Craft is, it's that 90s witch thing that I'm obsessed with. Okay, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing feminism? Can I pick more than one? Oh, can I pick more than one? Trans exclusivity, lack of space for women of color. It is impossible to lump together a diverse range of struggles under one umbrella term. Representation in the media. Trying to balance sexual liberation with not catering to the male gaze. Are all of the above, why is it so hard? Okay, it's clearly the last one. Ooh, what is my feminist aesthetic? I got a witchy feminist. I think that's because I chose The Craft. That just gave me like 1,000 witch points. It says, you look like you walk straight out of the sea and into a life of holistic living. I didn't know witches came from the sea. What? You have a penchant for astrology. No, I don't. And researching powerful women through history. And you probably express your support for the movement through art and music. I feel like none of that is true about me. I don't know what the other options are though, so I can't necessarily say if that's less correct. Actually, maybe no, that is not super false in terms of I would like to make films about women. So maybe that is expressing support for the movement through art and music. And I think that sharing with younger generations is important because I almost feel like half of this generation, millennials, it's lost. It's too late. They've been taught horrible things. So I feel like half of those questions had absolutely nothing to do with feminism at all or existing as a woman, and then some of them were slightly reductive versions of feminism maybe. So good on you, Buzzfeed, for trying to do something good, but I don't know if it was necessarily helpful in terms of forcing people to choose between the problems with feminism. I don't know about that. So happy International Women's Day. Hopefully you have learned something more about women today. I certainly didn't help that, but hopefully somebody else helped you do that. And if not, I hope you learned something when women don't show up to work. I don't have a job, so I couldn't partake in that. So instead I made a freaking video about me doing a Buzzfeed quiz. This is my contributions to feminism, guys. I'm so good. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about this. Whatever.